Okay.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Looks like we have some folks rolling in. Thanks for waiting on us to get started. I know we're a few minutes late. Just going to take a minute or two extra to see if we have some stragglers coming in. I still see the numbers kind of rising.
It's Friday Eve, as some people like to say. I was always a Thirsty Thursday fan because I'm feeling kind of parched.
I could see today being a Thursday for me. It's been a long week. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's a love-hate when you make your own when you make your own schedule. It's just you don't know when to stop sometimes.
Hey, I was looking at your calendar the other day and I was like, man, this guy does not even have 10 minutes to eat lunch.
Oh, I don't do lunch. I'm a parts guy. Come on, we stand at a counter and it's like
Exactly.
7:30 to 6. And then I unplug and I go home.
You bring that parts work ethic to the office space, that's for sure.
The only thing I changed is I wear basketball shorts and a polo instead of pants. So at least
There,
I wear shorts though. Some people
there
don't
you
even wear shorts.
go. All right, cool. Since we're 5 minutes in, let's get started. Hello, everyone. This is Do More with Less. Oops, let's go to the title slide while we're at it. Do more with less. How high growth parts departments sell more parts with less effort. This is a presentation by Revolution Parts. I'm your host, Emily Hannigan Page. I am the marketing manager here at Revolution Parts. We were supposed to have Ian Bellamy from a Nissan store here today, but due to the standard parts department unpredictable schedule, he may be joining later, but we're just going to get started anyway. And then my co-host is Anthony. Anthony, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Thank you, Emily. Well, I'm sure Ian will definitely try to join. I talked to him for a couple minutes. He's from Murfreesboro, Nissan down in Tennessee. But my name's Anthony Bubello. I'm a consultant here or e-commerce performance specialist with Revolution Parts. I've been in the dealership for almost 23 years, 22 years, and just left about a year and a half ago to come here and bring my tribal real world knowledge to every other dealer. I remember being in the seat, trying to figure it out between reconciliation and juggling phone calls and handling those tough questions when your service department says, why is the e-commerce price cheaper than, the online store? And, I've been down the road and I just want to help everybody else do better because we can. It's just knowing, what obstacles to jump and how to get around them.
Mm-hmm. Well put, Anthony. Anthony's a special guy in the parts e-commerce world. He ran a BMW store that was consistently doing over $250,000 in online sales alone every single month. So I love to have him on our webinars. He has great insight. He's super smart and he knows how to win online. And he knows how to win using digital tools that save parts departments time because we all know the one thing the department doesn't have enough of is time and headcount. So that's kind of what we're going to be covering in these next couple slides. Anthony, I'll let you kick us off.
Listen, we all know we're all busy, and the one thing you can't buy is time. Emily said it, and that's probably one of my favorite slogans when I talk to people because you can bring everything to Revolution Parts. You can bring your eBay, your Amazon, your tier one superstore, your website, even your local plugin from your dealership. So, I mean, you're bringing five channels to one dashboard, and I can guarantee everybody right now is looking at probably four or five little tabs at the bottom if you're running Windows 10 or 11. So we're trying to consolidate, save time, and it's not just selling. This is also reporting. This is also doing marketing and SEO work. So I mean, it's a lot of things that you can do all in one platform. But how much of your day is literally just pulled away from starting one project to the next? I used to be at the front counter talking to a retail customer, literally walking back to a technician, trying to make sure I got an overnight order in. You're busy, and we understand that, but it's a lot about just delegating who can do certain things, when you need to prioritize to put your stuff in there. I used to be a big proponent of just an hour, 2 hours of just dedicated e-commerce time. And guess what? For me, and I think a lot of people in the dealership will resonate with it, it's going to be in the afternoon 4 o'clock, 4:30, maybe 5:30. Maybe you have a laptop and you can do it when you get home. But to log into my DMS, which at the time was DealerTrack, I couldn't get in unless I was inside the network. I couldn't log in outside. So unless you got a remote desktop login. But being able to have dedicated time to focus, because we have to focus on anything, is really going to be, a huge part of actually excelling in e-commerce.
Yep, Anthony said it. And so part of excelling in e-commerce is automating a bunch of tasks because as soon as you get online, as soon as you start selling your inventory to people across the country, you're getting a lot more orders. You have a lot more work to do in an already jammed up schedule. So it's important that you're bringing in automation tools. Now, what is automation? It basically means you're taking the repetitive stuff, like what you see on the screen here, and you're making sure it gets handled automatically by machines. And so that's the key to growing your business without adding headcount and without creating more work for your already busy team. So let's talk a little bit about the demand that's out there. Okay. First, I'll go over kind of what we're seeing in the industry online. There are 196 million active users searching the web for OEM genuine parts every single year. That's crazy. In the past 12 months, in fact, on OEM part web stores, we've generated over $500 million in online part sales and almost 13 billion buyer interactions. Buyer interactions are essentially people searching these OEM web stores, clicking on items, searching through the website, cost comparing, things like that. So this just goes to show like it's a very active market online. There's a lot of opportunity there. And the way to really capture it and cash in on it is to bring in automation and AI tools. Let's break it down to like just 30 minutes. So in the past 30 minutes, there were 26,000 unique vehicle owners shopping OEM parts stores. That's pretty crazy. I mean, the volume online, it just can't be ignored. And of those 26,000 unique shoppers, 62,000 page views occur. So they're not just clicking around, they're searching, they're comparing, they're checking fitment, they're looking at alternatives, they're deciding who to give their business to essentially. So being online and having those automation tools to support fulfillment is the key to growing that business without doing more work, which is what we're going to get deeper into here. So, the traditional way that we sell in the parts department, we sell through the service drive, we sell over the counter, we have wholesale if that's part of our business. Today, shoppers are online. 65% of parts shoppers start with Google. If they have a question about a part that they need, they're going online first before they go into your dealership. 20% of those shoppers are going directly to a dealership web store. Not only do they know what they're looking for, they know where to find it online. And then 14% arrive through other search engines. So there's plenty of places people get referred to buy parts online. And this is the cool part. I feel like, Anthony, I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but pricing is too competitive. It's a race to the bottom when you get online. But what our surveys have found is that over 86% of part shoppers says they purchase online because they wanted a genuine OEM part. And that just goes to
People are paying for convenience. That's what goes to show you right there.
hmm Yeah, they want to know, they want the part that fits their vehicle. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And they want to buy from someone they trust. And so these are the questions that they're actually typing into Google and searching. Okay, this shows very high online buyer intent. This is the new way people shop for parts, to put it simply. And, I know the AI buzzword has been bopping around everywhere, so I can't help but plug it in this webinar. So let's talk a little bit about how customers are using AI to shop. Okay. We have simply better tools to shop now. Okay. For example, over 2 million visits from ChatGPT landed on our OEM web stores last month. 2 million people used ChatGPT to find parts on OEM web stores last year. I think that's crazy. Now, this year, I pulled the numbers and we're trending at 114% growth rate of those searches. So I'm not a mathematician, but that's over 4 million. We're trending for 4 million searches. We're more than doubling the ChatGPT referral traffic to OEM parts web stores. This just goes to show like people know how to use the internet and they know how to shop using the internet and they're doing it more and more and more. It's compounding. I mean, I haven't seen a rate like this before when it comes to search engines, Anthony.
That's madness. You know what I'd like to see? What is the Google analytics showing? Is Google going down while AI is going up? Or is Google staying the same and AI is just adding, it's another layer of the cake?
Google's scared right now. I'll tell you
I,
that
I
much.
I would be, and listen, I'm a user. I'm a car guy. Not that you guys want to hear about my projects, especially the one that's been in the garage for 20 years. I'm still buying parts for, but I go to Gemini and talk car talk every night. I plan out my whole entire weekend. I spend every night. That's my therapy. Let's talk about what we're gonna do. Let's talk about putting, cylinder heads. Let's talk about boring out. What kind of machinery do I need to bore, get 31% more millimeters? It's exciting, and you can have those conversations and shop in the same place instead of going back and forth to Google or eBay. You do it all in one spot.
It's crazy. And like customers are using AI tools, the top performing parts departments are using AI tools as well. And so we're going to get into it. Um, why does this all matter? We can talk about opportunity all day long. The opportunity to grow your parts business is bigger than ever, but you still have the same constraints of the same number of hours in the day, the same budget, the same headcount. So in the rest of these slides, we're going to talk about what are the 5 habits that high growth parts departments are using to sell more, to achieve higher goals with the same human resources and the same number of hours in a day. So
Uh,
habit number one, I'm going to kick over to you, Anthony.
Oh, definitely. Well, it's funny you say hours in the day. I love talking about how many available minutes, how many available hours one employee has. Because if you think about it, take your online orders, divide it by those available minutes. That's your interaction. Say you get 600 orders a month. That was kind of my ceiling personally. 9,600 available minutes. If you're getting 600 orders divided by that, that's 16 minutes. So every 16 minutes, you're either packing an order, processing it, communicating to a customer about it. So, I mean, you're going to hit a ceiling at some point.
Yep, well put. Well put. So habit number one, meet customers where they shop. Anthony, can you talk a little bit about this one?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Listen, if you can't beat them, join them, right? How many times does somebody come to the parts counter and basically insult you to your face, showing you, well, I can buy it for this? The downside to us giving a quote to somebody, we're trying to be transparent in the dealership, and we get a stigma where they call us the stealership. And then they go to the waiting lounge, they go on Google, they go on this, they look at that. Maybe they're using AI, they're going back and forth. And then guess what? They go right over to your parts counter and they get somebody like myself that says, hey, I see that you're looking at. Yes, we're looking at the exact same thing. Yes, the part number does fit. Yes, it matches your options. Yes, it has your engine code. But why is there a price difference? Well, you want the part today, you pay today's price. If you got 3 days to wait while your car's on the lift and it's not going to sit there for 3 days, so you have to meet them where their needs are. And their needs are paying for convenience. Not everything has to be done right away. And then, not to mention, when we talk about organic searches, think about how many times somebody literally puts a year, make, model, part number. You know what I mean? If we can add that to our SEO portfolio, you're going to get those free organic searches and not have to pay for your PPC. And PPC is pay per click. So, if you have a modest $2,000 budget, you're not dipping into it just for, a very generalized search term. It's going to be a free one for you. So, you got to make sure you're on top of it. And I would also say, start yourself a Google business page. If your dealership doesn't have one, start one for your website because a lot of people do like to vet websites. Is this a legit website? Is this a legit dealership? And, to add another layer of that, you can actually backdate some of that stuff in the Revolution Parts dashboard. So, they mirror each other and it makes your online profile just look better. So this way customers, feel more comfortable about it.
Totally. Love it. Habit number two, trade busy work for customer service and sales. And I love that Anthony already kind of touched on this one. And I'm going to use an example, Bommarito Auto Group. This dealer group, their e-commerce operation was run by a friend of ours, Ben Hannock, who used to manage that
Love
part
that guy. Love that guy.
of that guy. He's now one of our own. He crushed it just like Anthony did online, and Revolution Parts poached him to help us
He
help
was
our
in
customers.
between jobs. He was in between jobs.
Well, anyway, he has a really cool story because he was ahead of the curve when it came to automation and AI. So what he did was use automation tools and AI built into the Revolution Parts platform to streamline reconciliation, which is one of the big pain points we hear about. Like how do we reconcile with this new revenue stream? He used it for customer follow-ups, something that would take hours a day. All of a sudden it's automated, and all of the follow-up emails and messages are all ChatGPT written. Um, and just a variety of workflows, basically. He automated through Revolution Parts and through his own ingenuity. What ended up happening is he saved an entire workday. 8+ hours he saved from just bringing in some digital tools, from embracing AI to make himself basically a whole nother person weekday.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, between abandoned cart messages, giving somebody a promo to come back for their next purchase, these are all automated tools that you set up once and then it streamlines itself. So, I mean, you're right, it can save you literally an entire day. And even the reporting, we talk about reconciliation, create two reports that you have to marry to each other. And then once you create them, now you just repeat that every week or every month. But I definitely recommend weekly reconciliation. Once you get to that volume, you got to start doing it weekly.
Absolutely. That can get out of control pretty quickly. All right, Anthony, habit number 3, over to you.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Well, listen, learn. You got to learn from everybody else that's out there. You got to take in some just best practices, right? You got to look at what you can do to capture a customer, what you can do to actually retain a customer. Because customer retention or customer acquisition, if you will, it costs money. So if you could give somebody just a simple promo, or maybe my biggest thing was I like doing in-cart promos. So if you spend a certain amount, you get a certain amount off. So it's incentive. So if somebody's sitting there at a $186 item, there's incentive to spend $14 more, because how many people out there rather touch a $200 order versus, anything under that? You want to have your maximum possibility there. And then we're not just talking customer acquisition. We're not just talking average order value to increase your gross profit, but think about your shipping. Your shipping is also another profit center. So, it's literally just one on top of the other, cake in yourself. But building these little tools to help you, whether it's a VIN automation, that was my favorite. I mean, our system already asked for the VIN 2 or 3 times, but to ask one final time, hey, can I please have your VIN? If not, see our terms and conditions page. It's kind of like an ultimatum. If you don't submit it, we'll process the order in the next 24 hours. So, and some customers actually like that. I've seen Google reviews where people are like, oh, they even asked me for my VIN. If you ask a dealership, especially a parts department, if they want the VIN, they want the VIN every time. So for a customer to find value in that, that's a win-win right there?
Yeah, totally. And I mean, I think Ian, our missing panelist from Burrow Nissan, is a great example of someone who built those processes, created a really solid foundation of all the things Anthony just talked about, and went from, just 25K in sales per month to, in the space of like a couple months, doubling and more than doubling his monthly sales. And that's because he turned on the automation tools, he started using AI, and all of a sudden, the 40 to 50 hours a week he was working is now producing twice the outcome that it was before. I just love that story so much. I wish he was here to tell it himself, but
Well, he was talking to me right before this, before he got busy, and his cancellation rate is in the single digits. When I first met with him a year ago and we started kind of consulting, if you will, he was in the 30s. So, I mean, if you think about just he didn't, and he also has not changed his marketing. Just FYI, people. I mean, he's a case study here. He's still spending the exact same dollar amount and he grew. How did he grow? He took that cancellation rate, brought it down 30 points. And then he's maximizing every single thing possible, leveraging AI, using automation tools. And then, we talk about AI. Here's another little layer if you guys really wanted to get deep. Take your About Us page, dump that into ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. Ask it to make you an SEO optimized About Us page. Ask it to make it AI friendly or even bot friendly. A lot of About Us pages, I don't know about you, Emily, but I there sometimes it's like one sentence. Sometimes it says coming soon, and then sometimes it's just a little blurb. Like, we can do better. We have tools out there. So I really I almost question everybody that's watching. Go out there, make that one change, because that's free organic search that you don't have to pay for. And it's going to help at some point. May not be today, but at some point it will.
Love it. And I love that you're teasing habit number 5. But before we get there,
I was skipping ahead. I was skipping ahead.
I love it. You're a forward thinker. Anthony, go ahead and present habit number 4, and then I'll do habit 5.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, if you think about what the data is going to tell you, you got to look ahead. You got to look at where you want to be and where you are, right? I love the dashboards because most dashboards are going to show you overall sale, average order value, gross profit, shipping margins, and then cancellation rate. That right there is going to be number one. Where did I lose, right? Cancellation rate. If you can hit that right off the bat, pull a report. Are they back ordered discontinued products? Why are you listing back order and discontinued products? Are you even offering to order those from the manufacturer? Are you giving a clear timeline? These are human aspects, but they're still, they're tangible. You're still able to help them. Um, and then, when we think about like order shipping, we're all customers. I like being told through the entire process of where my order is. I don't like to place an order, look for the confirmation, and then 3 days later get a tracking. I would prefer to get an in progress email, a ready to ship email, and then the text notification because I can see it's like in motion, right? We spend our hard earned money. We want to know things are moving, and depending on the person, some people aren't patient. I'm in the business, so I'm patient. I just wait. But what I would prefer and what I would also recommend everybody to do, hit them with each. You move it, you put it in your DMS, send them a message. Tell them, hey, I just processed this. It's going to be shipped in 1 to 3 days, something along those lines. But you got to give them a little bit of something. And then when we talk about people coming back, customer retention, customer acquisition. How much did it just cost you to get that customer? You got to give them a reason to come back. Granted, you're giving them a good price and a good product, but if you're not delivering it in a meaningful time, if you're not responding to their email, if you're not, providing a VIN service, you got to be able to repeat this constantly. And that's where all this automation and AI comes into play. And then how can we sell more? We have a limited personnel, limited budget, limited marketing budget. You know, what I really want to show in an ROI equation is actual profitability. It's, how much did you spend to get a certain amount of business? Now, everybody's got a different ROI equation, but you need to really put these into columns to show it. So, look at your marketing as a budget. If you're taking it right out of the bottom line, that's personal preference. But there's going to be a huge difference in an ROI equation with that taken out. But we got to be able to sell more. We got to be able to get rid of the aged inventory because I'm sure most parts managers are getting judged on obsolescence. Most people are 12, 18 months. Who knows? Maybe we even go as far as 24 months. But if you can get that down under 1% or even 3%, I've met with some dealers recently that half their inventory was outside 12 months. I mean, that's insanity. Sometimes you walk into that problem. Sometimes you've been there long enough where you're part of the problem. So whatever, you got to stop it, you got to fix it, and you got to clean house. Um, but
Mhm.
we just got to do better. It's all about engagement. If you can be engaged and have a goal and just streamline that goal, learn from everybody around you, circle yourself with some good positive energy, you can do it.
Love it. I love the inspirational words.
I'm
Um,
trying. I'm trying. Listen, I was there. I was in the dealership going, what am I gonna do? I gotta make money here.
and what I love about Revolution Parts is that it makes the data so accessible. I personally can't stand looking at a spreadsheet of numbers, okay, with 5,000 rows. What the heck do I even do with this? If you want answers about your sales data, about your inventory data, about any sort of data related to your online parts business, you can actually ask the Revolution Parts dashboard in plain English a question about your data, and the AI agent will answer you back. I mean, I don't think it gets much easier than that. I love it, and it's just another way to save time and sell more.
And
All right,
that is a new feature though. That's like super new.
is brand new. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, everyone else is getting into the AI game. We can't be left behind.
got that
Okay,
right.
so habit number 5 might be my favorite one. Improving and becoming faster and selling more with less. Automation, it never ends. I mean, I feel like I just started using AI tools last year for my work and my personal life, and it's completely different like 12 months later. And you kind of have to treat your parts department the same way. Um, you know, I love the 1-1-1 rule because, how do you go about eating an elephant? One bite at a time. So you identify a problem. I don't personally want to eat an elephant. That's kind of a not a great image, but the sentiment makes a lot of sense here. So identify one constraint that you're noticing in your parts department. Automate it, simplify it, outsource it, delegate it, or just eliminate it altogether if it's not something that's making you money or saving you time. Make that change and then ask yourself 30 days later, did it save time? Is it protecting your sales? Is it allowing you to sell more? Like, is it generating revenue? Beautiful. If it worked, you keep it and then you identify the next problem. It's way more palatable to upgrade your department and make things more efficient and more profitable if you focus on one thing at a time and you just do it forever. I mean, that alone is pure job security. Someone who's constantly improving, constantly solving problems, and looking for the new tools out there, of which there are so many, to help them do their job better.
I'm with you. I love problems because you're giving yourself a task. Like here's the problem, now you have something to resolve. If you ever walk into any business and they have no problems, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Nobody's perfect. I
They
mean,
have problems. They're
even the dealer's doing $1 million a month. We still meet every other week and we talk about how to make things better. I don't think anybody's perfect.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, if you think you have no problems, it just means you're not looking hard enough. So quick obligatory sales pitch. I've been plugging Revolution Parts throughout this webinar. Really, guys, all I care about is that you're looking at ways to sell more with the resources you have to save time using AI and automation. Every single industry is implementing these AI and automation tools to do better in their roles, and the parts department has access to those tools, okay? At Revolution Parts, we're focused on the practical ways to reduce your manual work so that you're not waking up in the middle of the night thinking about how much dang work you have to get done tomorrow. We want to help you get answers about your business faster. We want to help you process more orders with the team you have and help customers on a whole different customer service level, on the Amazon customer service level. Um,
It's
so,
fun. It's
yeah.
funny. You talk about going to sleep and waking up because you forgot to do something. I literally went to bed last night and delisted somebody's eBays and then was uplisting them. And usually the process takes like an hour or two, but it was like 11 o'clock. So I went to bed. But I woke up thinking, oh my God, I really, I wanted to make sure that was, well, once again, we're utilizing tools at our discretion and a click of a button. I know it may take a couple hours, but I mean, I was able to do about 63,000 listings on one customer's eBay account and a couple clicks and then I went to bed. So like being able to wake up and know that that task is done, like talk about automation. Like I used to do manual listings in eBay and Amazon. Like, that's mind blowing. If anybody here is doing manual listings, please don't. Please don't talk to us. Like we have such a streamlined process. You make one listing and make it good and it goes out to every channel, or you get with us and we already have the listing and we help you with that.
You don't have to lift a finger. And
Yep.
if you want to explore these AI and automation tools, you get to work with Anthony, who is a parts e-commerce genius, and a lot of fun to talk to, as you can see.
I'll take the compliment, but I'm going to be modest here. I'm a regular guy that's just trying to figure it out.
Well, we appreciate you. We did get a few questions throughout the chat. Anthony, do you mind if I read these off to you and you spearhead answering them?
Yeah, let's go for it. Are we going to do lightning round?
Let's do a lightning round. I know that's going to be hard for you because you love to talk.
I'll try to
Um,
keep it short.
all right. First one. How much time does it actually take to manage an online part store every day?
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, the volume's gonna really chance this, but let's say 2 to 3 minutes per order with a VIN check, depending on if it's in stock, might be a couple more minutes to grab the right box, pack it up, and ship it. I mean, I would say gracefully 2 hours a day. If
Hmm.
you're doing decent, if you're doing I think volume's gonna really change it. I have some guys that only look at their online store 2 or 3 times a week. Like they're not in there every day because they're not doing the volume. So that's a tough one though. Good question though.
Well, and I talked to a lot of dealerships. I talked to a lot of parts managers, and one thing I've learned is that most dealers do not need to hire a dedicated person or an additional person until they hit 75K a month in online parts revenue. I mean, that's like a really meaningful addition to your monthly revenue without even having to hire anyone now.
We were just talking about time, right? So 600 orders. You say 75K. I mean, basically take 75K divided by 600. That's your average order value. You know what I mean? We want three, four. You want a really high average order value. But I mean, I was able to do it myself until I hit about 600 orders. I don't know, remember the dollar amount. It might have been 100 grand because the average order value wasn't really that high back then. But I still help my previous dealer and my previous auto group and they're doing amazing. Every one of them is engaged. The director's engaged. It's all about engagement. You want to succeed. You surround yourself with some positive people that, have some plans attack. We share meaningful content with each other and we make a plan of attack and we grow.
Beautiful. Okay. For Anthony, what's an example of something you automated in your last parts job that actually saved you time?
Okay. Well, a couple of different things. I used to love printing pick tickets for every order. And plus, it's a piece of paper that goes in the box. It's got my website on it. It's got everything on it. It looks good. And plus, it's technically a copy of an invoice. I would check the box to select all and then click print and then walk away. Go do something for 15, 20 minutes, come back, and all my pick tickets are right there. I'm a delegator. Walk over, give them to my shipping guy. Hey, I need you to pull these and, go about your day. You know what I mean? And then, he comes back, hey, this needed to be special order, this needed to be special order. So I mean, just doing a bulk pick ticket, I thought was really good. Um, and another little thing I did that really saved me time was we actually have in the Revolution parts, if you go to the shipping field, you can do a bulk QR code. So this way the carrier just scans one barcode. So you check off however many boxes you did today, it puts all of them in one barcode. And it's only one barcode. So USPS can scan it, FedEx can scan it, Post Office, UPS can scan it. Any one of the carriers can scan it. And whatever tracking is that you bulk upload in that QR code, boom, goes right there. So, I don't know about you guys, but how many carriers, the drivers just throw the stuff in the truck and drive off, and it takes 3 days for it to get scanned. Meanwhile, your customers emailing, text, and calling in, hey, where's my package? It says you just created the label. Do yourself a favor, print that, have your driver scan that, and then or just leave it on top. Let the driver scan it and fill their own truck. You know what I mean? But I those are two things that I did that without getting too long-winded, I thought that were very helpful in my just regular daily workflow.
Yeah, the bulk upload one is a huge one.
Yeah, that's easy. Now, I had a text to chat service. Yo, they had where you could automate the replies. If anybody texted in the word return, you could have a reply already set up for your return inquiry. If they wrote the word core, because I don't know about you guys, we sell starters, alternators, they got core charges. Here's my core policy. Here's my return. If you need a label, email me here. You know what I mean? Like you can set up a lot of these, like just very basic automations. But I thought that was pretty neat, though, just being able to use the words or the terms. You could put a term or a word in there. That saved me a lot of time because I was selling car parts on Saturdays and Sundays via text. I mean, I sell motors. If anybody's BMW guys, how many N63s did you used to do under warranty? Well, guess what? Those cars are out of warranty now. I was selling them like hotcakes at one point. So,
Love it. Okay, last question. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see when people first start selling online?
I mean, the biggest one's going to be reconciliation. You know, people don't separate things. They don't say they're doing eBay and web store. They're not separating the two. That would be number one. Number two would be taxes. I seen people charging tax on eBay orders. Well, guess what? eBay's the retailer, you're the fulfiller. Don't charge sales tax. If not, you're going to end up with negative funds, and then you're going to be trying to figure out where those funds went. Guess what? It's all in the sales tax you've been charging that you haven't been collecting. So that's going to throw your numbers off. Last one that I actually did that was huge. If you make a promo, make sure you put a maximum dollar amount in there. Because I did a 10% off coupon and forgot to put a max order in, and then some guy bought a $4,000 hood. Yeah, that didn't end well. You know, it's I lost all my gross profit. I would highly suggest if you're going to do a promo code, do like 50% off of shipping, cap it at $30 or something. You know, like you just need to give a little added incentive. You're already giving them good pricing, you're already giving them good service. It's just an added bonus, customer retention, make them feel warm and fuzzy, you know.
Totally. I feel like a lot of times customers care more about the discount itself than the actual dollar amount because it
Oh
just
yeah.
feels good to get the deal.
We're all customers. I do
Yeah.
think it feels good. And you know, going back to our average order value, I'm an old Volkswagen guy, got a 71 bug. I go to J-Bugs and buy parts all the time. Guess what? J-Bugs give you free shipping, free ground economy shipping if you spend $100 or more. I always spend $100. Always. You know what I mean? So take that. You know, I think everybody here should have some kind of, you know, shipping promo at a certain dollar amount, whether it's 200, you know, higher end brands like BMW and Benz might be like three or four, but like, you know, Honda, Mazda, you know, even Acura, probably $200 would be a safe dollar amount.
Awesome. Okay, we're about to wrap up, but I see that our friend Junior is in the chat and he
Love
wants
that guy.
love that guy. Hey
Love
Junior.
that guy.
He wants to know more about what you were talking about in regards to taxes. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so you know, if you think about any marketplace, whether we're talking Walmart, whether we're talking eBay, whether we're talking Amazon, those are the retail centers. You know, think about if you physically went into a retail store, that retailer is charging you sales tax, not the person that put the part on the shelf, not the person that fulfilled the order. You know what I mean? So that's why I say you got to watch out with the taxes because if you're selling on eBay, or Walmart or Amazon, any marketplace, that's the retail center. They're the ones that are collecting the taxes. And not to mention, if anybody hears eBay people, I know for a fact that on the eBay order confirmation or order details, it says taxes collected by eBay right at the bottom. So what gets misconstrued though is they assume because the tax is on the order confirmation, they need to charge it. It's that's false. So I would just say, you know, keep your eye out, make sure you're putting tax where you need. And if you don't know, talk to somebody, talk to your accounting team. You know, e-commerce is the same in all 50 states of the United States of America. So it doesn't change. You know, if you don't have a corporate entity in another state, in theory, you're not supposed to charge sales tax. But I think also by law, I'm not allowed to give tax advice. But that's an easy one. I'm just saying the marketplace that's an easy one.
Cool. Thank you, Anthony Jr. If you have any other follow-up questions, you know where to find us. And that goes for everyone. If you want to learn more, if you want to talk to me or Anthony, if you want to find out more about how AI and automation tools can fit in your parts operation, we love talking to parts people. Shoot us an email at marketing@revolutionparts.com. It's right here at the bottom of this slide. It's missing the .com, but I trust that you can remember to add that when you're reaching out to us. Please feel free to reach out anytime. Again, we love hearing from you guys, and thanks for joining today.
Listen, when you succeed, we succeed. So let's team up. Let's partner up. I need the market's out there. We just got to go grab it.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and thank you for joining.